My name is Norman Thompson. I just want to take a few minutes to share with you the journey I've been on for the past 3 years. Something that's really tested my faith and just brought me closer to God, and just He has showed me that the peace that when going through a valley that only He can supply. To begin my story, I started out 3 years ago. I was having a colon resection. And while in the hospital, I encountered some problems, and basically they'd done more tests and found out that I had some swollen lymph nodes, and they really didn't know what it was. They said it could be infection, it could be cancer, it could be a number of things. So after a couple of biopsies, they did determine it was some type of cancer. But even when I went to my oncologist for the first time, he said, this is a really rare thing. There's been 3 pathologists looking at this for the past week, and they've even had to go back and do research. So after meeting with my oncologist, he determined that the thing for this cancer was radiation, and that's supposed to take care of what I had. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But before I got to the radiation part, like I said, I was researching this type cancer, and it said usually people live at least 5 years. And it was at that moment that God revealed to me that, there's no need to worry about tomorrow, or, because in the book of James, it says your life is even as a vapor. It's here for a little while, then gone. So, who can boast of tomorrow when you don't know when tomorrow may bring? You may not live till tomorrow. That's for anybody. So, from there, I done the radiation. And they continued to scan me, and every so often they would, they would scan, and it wasn't. But about 6 months later, I guess it was another place showed up in another lymph node, so I had it removed. Once it eventually moved into my bone, and when it did, my regular oncologist, he said, this cancer is doing something that it's not don't normally do, so I'm going to send you to a specialist. So I went to the specialist. One of the first time I met with him, he said even then that he said, I thought they had misdiagnosed you because this just don't do this. And he said, you're a very unique case. And he said, unique is not good in the medical field. So therefore, he pretty much told me that my prognosis wasn't good. So, but I still didn't worry. Like I said, I was at peace with it after, God had revealed that to me about, that scripture in the book of James, and it's also in the book of Matthew 6:27. It says, "Which one of you by worrying can add 1 cubit to his stature?" So, therefore, basically that means which one of you by worrying can add 1 day to his life. So, if you're saved and know where you're going, everybody wants to live as long as they possibly can, but if you're saved and know where you're going, there's really nothing to worry about, because 1 minute after you close your eyes in this world, you're going somewhere. It's either heaven or hell, and that's just a fact of the matter. So basically, when I went through the specialist I went to, he wanted me to do what's called a stem cell transplant. He said that's the only option I had. So I went through that, and a year later, I'm still in remission from the cancer. But basically, what I want everybody to take from this, God can give you peace with anything if you would just trust Him. And at first I guess I was just really freaking out about, they said I'm gonna be off work for 3 months, and I thought, well, hey, I'm gonna lose everything I've got, and I thought, then it was 6 months I was gonna be off, and then I even got more concerned at that point. So, but through my church family and the hand of God, I'm still here today, and I still have my home, and like I said, it's just it's a peace that you can't understand. I guess that's why they call it a peace that surpasses all understanding, because you really don't understand why you're not freaking out because you got cancer. I know a lot of people do, and it's like I say, I've never really worried about it. The only thing I really worried about is my wife and my daughters, because I really didn't want to leave them. So, but through it all, I've learned to trust the Lord more, and my faith has grown. I mean, as most of you know, your faith don't grow much when you're on the mountaintop. It's when you're in the valley when it's really tested. I'd just like to say thank you to my church family for all the prayers and the financial support, because without them, I wouldn't have got through this. I mean, it's been really tough on me and my family, and I know without a doubt that prayer has been very effective, because the radiation doctor basically told me after about 3 weeks I was going to get a sore throat and I probably wouldn't be able to eat or drink. So fortunately that didn't happen, and I told the doctor when I went back to see him, I said, "Doctor," I said, "I'm not going to get that sore throat." And he said, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, there's just too many people praying for me, and I know that's what got me through." But even after that, I went through some tough chemo. I mean, it was stuff that usually puts people down. My wife works for Tennessee Oncology, which is the doctor that I went and seen, and she said, most people are down when they take this stuff, because the doctor basically told me it's everything but the kitchen sink. I mean, it's pretty much the toughest chemo that they could give anybody. So there again, by prayer, I still didn't lose any weight, still kept on eating. Now, I'm not gonna say I wasn't a little sick, a little nauseated, but I know prayer is what got me through. I mean, I'm a firm believer in it. In the book of James, it says that the fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much, and I firmly believe that.